And welcome back, everybody. I'm no longer on the boat, so if you're hearing happiness
Thank
come
God.
out of my voice right now, it's because I'm home. I'm Jay Black, joined every week by the lovely and talented Rhea Hughes. Hello, Rhea.
Hello.
And the lovely and also talented Angelo Cataldi. Now the owner of an audiobook, right? Is it out,
Yep,
Angelo? The
it's
audiobook for
out.
Loud.
It's officially out, and I'm looking forward to all the people who listen to our show who are not readers to be able to enjoy the book. And it went great. I'm thrilled that they will have access to this as well, and I hope a lot of people check it out.
I think it was important that you have this because if you want to hear the Angelo Cataldi story, you got to hear it in the Angelo Cataldi voice. And I'm so glad you got you to do it, Angelo. You didn't get some British actor or something like Rupert Everett.
In respect, I think the company itself would have preferred a professional, but we got through it. We got through it.
You are a consummate professional, and I personally can't wait to listen to it. So you can get that on audible.com, amazon.com. You can get the book at amazon.com or angelocataldi.com. Check that out. But I hope you win an award, Angelo, and you get to go next year for the Oscars. I don't know if they give an Oscar for best audiobook. They should. But the Oscars have just happened. First thing I want to say before we get to anything, how great was the earlier start time? Can everybody do this?
What took so long? Does it matter on the West Coast whether it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon or 5?
No.
It's a weird time for them anyway. And we got to watch it without falling asleep, and it was worth our time.
Please, everyone scheduling everything everywhere, understand that most humans go to bed by 11. Get the stuff done by 11 and you'll get better ratings. That's just do it. Great move by them. But I want to, before we get into the nitty gritty of it, I want to get your overall impression of the show. The producers this year were different producers. They made some different choices. We have Jimmy Kimmel hosting. Rhea, what did you think? Did you think they did a good job this year?
So it is still past my bedtime because, unlike Angelo, I still do wake up at 2:30 in the morning. So, and remember, we lost an hour. So it was a little bit rough for me. But I saw all the highlights. I loved the singing, the Ken, I am Ken, because I had not seen Barbie. Clark had seen it. So I thought that was, because you get, sometimes the singing at the Oscars doesn't always work.
Brutal.
I thought it was a tremendous performance. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, I want to have some time for Ken later on. I have a whole section for him I want to talk about. Angela, what do you think? Did you think Kimmel did a good job? Did you like the production?
Kimmel was fine. He's what he is. He's good. He's not great. He's good. He's been good at pretty much everything he's done. I've never found him to be spectacular, but he did his job very well. Overall, A-. I thought there were some great things that happened in that show. The John Cena thing where he came out naked, but not really. Phenomenally executed.
Yes.
Brilliantly done by Kimmel and Cena. That was fantastic. Maybe it's just me. Billie Eilish, I think she is not only one of the most talented people, she is beautiful. The song she sang that ended up winning the Oscar for Best Song I loved it. I thought it was great. The Barbenheimer bit with Emily Blunt and I think it was Ryan Gosling, that was fantastic. Yeah. They did a lot of really good stuff. And normally a lot of that stuff in the Academy Awards they don't execute it well. It ends up being stupid and campy. The only thing I don't like is what I haven't liked for years. There's too many categories I just don't care about. Yeah. And I got people up there I don't recognize thanking people I never heard of. That's bad TV. But otherwise, great.
I would say one great choice that they made was starting to combine those lesser categories into one where they don't have to bring out like two groups of people to do it, where they did best animated short and best animated feature. Great. Get it out of the way. I'd like him to be cut entirely so that it's a 2-hour event personally. And I know that upsets a lot of people in the industry. I'm sorry. Nobody cares about documentary short. No one has cared about documentary short since the 1940s when newsreels stopped being produced. But hey, the one thing I did not like, I found to be a little of a weird choice, was Al Pacino got knocked for not introducing.
That was weird.
But they came out and said it was a producer's choice. It wasn't Pacino's fault. but they made the decision to not read out all the nominees, to just give out the winner. That's a bad move. Read out the nominees. You're not 9 people aren't going to win, so give those 9 people a little bit of that before they get it, right? I mean, bad move on their part.
Honestly, when you're past 80, don't put anybody past 80 alone on a stage. It's probably that's
It
my
was
guess.
bad. It was really, it was
not good.
awkward
Yeah.
for a
But
guy
you know
that
what?
we really respect in terms of his acting career.
Unless you're Rita Moreno, who is apparently going to live to be 195 years old and look great. 92, she looks spectacular.
She looked amazing. There are exceptions to the 80-year-old rule.
And
Yes.
and they're both named Rita Moreno. All right. So this was a largely apolitical podcast, telecast. There was a couple of moments, Mark Ruffalo always has to be a little political. There was the winner of Zone of Interest said some stuff. Jimmy Kimmel, I thought, had a very brilliant thing where he read Donald Trump's review of the Oscars live to the audience and said, "Isn't it past your jail time?" Which was a good line by him.
Yes.
I just curious just in general, because the big thing that everybody says, the line, just go play basketball, to the sports people that have politics. Do you mind the politics, or do you not mind the politics, Angelo? Do you
I
prefer
mind them. I
you don't
mind
like
it. I don't need to. I'm not watching it to get their political views. At the same time, Rhea will tell you, there is not a person on this earth who loves a feud more than I do. In fact,
Yes.
to this day, a year into retirement, I still have many feuds all over the place. And the feud between Jimmy Kimmel and Donald Trump is very entertaining to me.
It's humorous.
The fact that in the moment, apparently, they told Kimmel not to go on with the tweet or whatever they call it.
Right.
And Kimmel said, no, I'm going on with it.
Yeah.
And Kimmel took, he had this great feud going with Matt Damon. I know it was bogus, but that kind of stuff to me is so much fun. And then Trump came back at him, and you got 2 people that really hate each other. I find that entertaining. So I was in favor of that moment.
So no politics, but personal feuds, A-OK by Angelo.
Always personal feuds.
Raw emotion is what I enjoy. And I know Kimmel hates Trump and Trump hates Kimmel. That to me leads to entertainment. I enjoy it.
Yeah, see, the problem is, Jay, everybody, they know these people as actors, and you really do only think of them in their roles. I mean, it just is the way it is. Like, the only time we really ever had to talk about politics on the show with Angelo was when we had the pandemic and we had no sports, and we were kind of forced into it.
Yeah.
And it was awful. It was awful. We knew that we were alienating half of our audience every single day. And, so I'm very happy to not have to talk politics anymore again. But that's really the only time that we broke.
I got to tell an inside story. So the pandemic starts and we have no choice. That's all anybody's talking about. And Rhea is good friends with Jim Kenney, the mayor. And I would know, Rhea, I hate to do this. I got to rip your friend again. And I would go to her before a show. I go, Rhea, I got to kill Kenny on this. I have to. And she go, oh boy, here we go again. But she never stopped me. She just would kind of go, oh, not this. This is what I need. This jackass yelling about my mayor friend. And then, God knows I'm going to get tickets, whatever it is.
To Jim's credit, I will say, to Jim's credit, he never got mad at me. He would always be like, that jackass, and he would yell at you. But he never got mad at me, and I would just go, I'm going to hear about this from all of our friends,
Yeah.
I'm just going to say this about the politics. I find it uncomfortable, but in a way that I enjoy. I want them to be sanctimonious jerks up there. I mean, think about, where would we be if Marlon Brando didn't send Little Feather out to accept his award? The most sanctimonious, helped nobody, did nothing, but it's a fun memory we all have. Mark Ruffalo
will be. Did it turn out that Little Feather was actually not a Native American?
I don't know if that's true or not, but it would not make.
Yes.
It would not make.
Years later.
Yeah. I'm surprised it wasn't him dressed up as that.
Brando did not get his Native American.
Rule number 1, Oscars: vet the people you're sending up there to accept the award. All right, so I want to talk about a guy that I thought did a spectacular job, John Mulaney, who I love, that intro to Best Sound when he talked about Field of Dreams and pointed out how ridiculous Field of Dreams. Angelo, was that hilarious? Would you want this guy to host the Oscars? Was this his audition piece?
You gotta, Jay, you gotta understand what it took him to do. John Mulaney's up there, right? And he decides to bring in a 40-year-old movie and in this incredibly rapid fire way, describe the whole movie and what happened in it and do it without missing a thing. There's no way that could be on a teleprompter. It was too fast the way he did it. It was so brilliant that minute, Jay, that he finished that, I was laughing. I like him anyway. I went, hire him now to do next year's Oscars because he's Jimmy Kimmel, but funnier. He would be better. Now, he might irritate people because he's more controversial too, but he is the next host of the show based on that performance.
Rhea, you're hiring or not?
I loved it. Because I've never been now. I know this is horrible to say. I've never been a huge fan of Field and Dreams. Although, unlike Al Morgani, I didn't say it to Ray Liotta's face and upset him greatly. But I've always found it schmaltzy, just like Rudy. I hate Rudy. I'm not a fan of that. But it made me. But I knew every reference he was making because I've actually seen the movie a couple times. Right. So I thought it was great.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. Hire him now. If I'm the Golden Globes after the disaster that was Joe Coy, I'm calling him up right now and going, how much do you want to take you away from the Oscars next year? Do it now, make your money, and let's do it. All right, this is where I want to talk about I'm Just Ken, best Oscar performance of all time. The answer is obviously yes. We don't even need to discuss it. But you loved it, Rhea, and you didn't see the movie.
And I didn't know, but like Clark had seen the movie, so he had told me about it. And he tells me all the time, Ken is the best part of Barbie. Like that's 100%. His favorite character. He loves them. So we rewatched it on Monday. And when he's like up in the end, like this is what I will say about the Oscars. I thought it was extraordinarily well produced. And that performance was absolutely the top of the line, well produced. I loved it.
I found it irritating, Jay, for a simple reason. All right. Ryan Gosling is an incredibly good-looking man.
Yes, he is.
He is young and vital. He also is an exceptional actor. He's versatile. He does everything well. But I didn't see Barbie. I'd never heard him sing.
Right.
5 notes in, I go, oh no, he's a good singer too.
Yeah.
What line did I miss for that? That guy's got everything. And it was so elaborate and they pulled it off absolutely spectacularly. I don't know that it was the absolute best thing. They used to do big production numbers at the beginning of the Oscars, especially when Billy Crystal did them.
Crystal, yeah.
This was as good as it gets. Certainly to actually display an Oscar song nomination and do it that way, no one's ever done it better. I would say it's the best.
Billy Crystal never had Slash show up. Exactly. All right.
Slash. I couldn't believe that.
And it's funny is I'm watching with my daughters, my 8-year-old and my 13-year-old. My 16-year-old son knew who Slash was, but my 13-year-old and 8-year-old was
so cool.
It was like, what is that? I'm like, that is Slash, my friends. Those are
show some respect.
That's been a look for 40 years, young lady. Yeah. All right. So one of the things that Kimmel even joked about it in the moment. And it was something that was talked about a lot online. Have you ever seen an actress, Rhea, not want to win an award as much as Emma Stone did not want to win Best Actress over Lily Gladstone, a person who everyone had picked to win, literally everyone. She had won the SAG, she had won the Golden Globe. Every Oscar predictor said she's going to be the one. And when they cut to Emma Stone winning her second Oscar, she looked like somebody just told her that her cat was dead. What did you think of that?
There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that because this is a testament to how most of Hollywood and America must like Emma Stone, because she expected backlash, because everybody in the world expected Lily to win that award. So she was like, oh my God, I'm going to get crushed because these people chose me. It's not like she chose herself.
Sure.
But I think it's a testament to how well liked she is, that she really, it was more against the Academy, I guess, that, that Lily should have won it. And nobody really came after Emma. That kind of, I liked. Sometimes when you're a nice person and stuff happens, you get away with it. Not that she needed to get away. You get
Right.
by on it being a nice person.
Angelo, do you agree, or were you? I actually saw Angelo leading the
guess
backlash against Emma.
You know what Emma Stone did in that moment? To me, she won her third Oscar. She's
Acted.
an actress. Of course she acted like she didn't want it. What are you, a moron? No, she wanted someone else to win when she gave this virtuoso performance in an awful movie.
Sure.
That movie stinks. All right. Poor things. I have tried twice to watch it. I can't get past a half an hour. It's bad. She's amazing in it. No argument. She basically scammed you, Jay.
Wow.
She was thrilled. Look, she's been going to all these different awards. Some Lily Gladstone have won, and some she has won. So it wasn't that shocked. She had won a few other ones, right? And then
this is the Oscars.
Oh my God, I won! Oh, I can't believe it! Oh, please,
Angelo, it's not the first time I've been scanned by a pretty redhead. I'll be honest.
Well, believe me, she is a brilliant actress. I didn't like either of the two movies that these wonderful actors are in, but you got scammed. She was thrilled she won. Come on. She won an Oscar.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. So we have our annual fashion by Rhea. And let's see if I could. Every year I try to figure out how to share the screen. I never had to do it. Let me see if I can share the screen with you guys and actually get this up here. Hold on a second. All right. Can you see my screen here? Let's start with the first image that Rhea sent, which was this one here. Who is this?
There we go. So this is, I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but it's Lupita. Lupita Nyong'o?
Nyong'o, I believe. Yes.
Nyong'o. You want to talk gorgeous? This is literally simply one of the most beautiful looks I've ever seen. So classy. She wore a similar dress like 10 years ago when she won. I believe she won an Oscar for 12 Years a Slave.
Yes.
She just, when she popped onto the carpet, I went, oh my God, this is how Hollywood should dress for the Oscars. Absolutely. There was nobody better than her at the Oscars than that outfit.
And then, okay. So, and if you want to go to our YouTube page, which is the TV show pod, you can see all of these. Let's go up with the second one you sent here, which is,
these are not the good ones. So this is Billie Eilish, and Angelo, I know you love her. This was my Padua Academy Catholic high school girls uniform. I'm not lying to you. I had an ugly houndstooth skirt, a really bad brown blazer, and a collared. It was terrible. You are gorgeous. You're an amazing singer. Dress up. Seriously. It was bad.
Yeah, she looks like she should be on that show Wednesday. She's got it's a dark look. All right.
Yes.
Next up, this is actually, I have the same suit, Rhea.
I love The Rock, but it's like he went into Hugh Hefner's closet and pulled out like an old pajama set of his. Literally, this guy is so amazing looking. He's in the most amazing shape. If I was his wife and he was getting dressed, I'd be like, no, go back in the closet and find something else. It was just I couldn't believe how bad it was.
I'm picturing like a 5'4" male stylist going, Mr. The Rock, I don't know if this look is good for you. And The Rock going, what do you mean the look's not good? And he's like, actually, you look fantastic. Just go out with that. You look great. A red sash always looks good with a gray silver suit.
Correct. Yes.
He does look like he should be piloting a starship. You do. All right. And finally, we have this one.
This is okay.
Who is this?
So first of all, this is Lisa Ann Walter, who was on Abbott Elementary, who I adore on Abbott Elementary. She plays the South Philly teacher It's like her greatest role. She's amazing. I don't know what it's literally like a peacock slammed into her dress and got caught like the peacock on a windshield.
Yes.
And I'm like, and then the 60s hairdo and the stripper shoes. I'm like, I don't know how as a woman you go into, because I'm assuming when you're a Hollywood actress, you go into a place, a salon, and they bring out outfits and you go, oh yeah, that's the one. I mean, I don't even know what to say about that outfit.
Do you remember the palm olive lady? Like Madge, I soaked in it, or Midge, I soaked in it. She looks like that. Like if she got like a big night on the town, this is how Midge from the palm olive commercial would dress. Yeah, not a great look.
It's not a great look. I will say this about, for the most part, the dresses were beautiful. The men, for the most part, had on. Now there's a new thing with the tuxedos that kind of have a little bell bottom look. I thought Ryan Gosling looked awesome. The kid who was in the holdovers, Dominic Sassa, maybe if that's his name. He's a local kid from. He looked great. The men, for the most part, looked really good. The women, some of them. Ugh.
Yeah, where's Ariana Grande?
Yeah, she looked like a purple puff. What was going on with that?
See, that one was too easy. I went,
okay.
What? It was just like, I just looked at that and I went, I've seen different versions of that dress throughout the years where they just want to go real big and poofy. I just thought the Lisa Ann Walter thing was insane. Get Lupita's number, call her, see her stylist. You will dress perfectly for the Oscars.
Fair enough. And although I will say that Ryan Gosling would have looked good in the Rock suit.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Can we stop with Ryan Gosling? There must be something he's bad at.
You know what? Let's see him host a podcast. That guy can't podcast worth a lick. Rhea, what do you got for us this week? That's any last comments, by the way, on the Oscars before we move on? You guys have any final words on it? Let's get John Mulaney in next year. Make it happen, unless the Golden Globes steal him away for big money. Rhea, what do you got for us this week on British Corner?
I don't actually have a vicious, dark murder mystery. I know this will come as a shock to all of you. So it's called Hope Street on BritBox. It is a police procedural show based in Northern Ireland in the fictional town of Port Devine, but it is filmed on an actual coastal town in Ireland. And my dad would be mad at me. I don't know how to pronounce it. Let me just say, from the moment you start watching the show, it will make you want to get on a plane and go to Northern Ireland. The beauty shots, it's gorgeous. What I love about it, the premise of it is it's this small town, coastal town, and this detective gets transferred there. Her name's Layla Hussein. I believe she's an Indian woman, gets transferred there and under mysterious conditions. But it's all, you've got kind of a good looking older detective. I got to say, I like him, Finn O'Hare. He's got two deputies, but it's all the characters in the town. The taxi driver is the former detective. He's the pastor. They're all really interesting people. They're self-contained episodes, of a murder mystery or a robbery, but that's not really the story. The whole storyline is the town. And I love it, but I mean, I literally sit there and go, I got to go back I've been to Ireland before and it is beautiful, but I will tell you, you will be blown away by just the videography of what coastal Ireland looks like. It's that beautiful.
All right. Wow. What's the name and the streamer again, Rhea?
It's called Hope Street on BritBox. It's 3 seasons. Really well. It's more of an ensemble. Like the police are kind of the heart of it, but it's the quirky townspeople. What was that show that was in Alaska many years ago?
Northern Exposure.
Northern Exposure. Not as quirky, but on that quirky level. And I just really like it.
All right. And I know you don't have a teen corner this week, Rhea, so I'm just going to jump in with my own quick teen corner here, which is just another quick note about the Oscars. My 2 daughters went to school on Monday, a buzz about the Oscars, because we watch as a family till it's bedtime for them. We watch for the performances. We watched up till I'm Just Ken, both my 8-year-old and 13-year-old, in love with it. Just agog. Came back the next day, Monday, and said, most of their friends not only didn't know the Oscars were on, not only didn't watch, many of them didn't know what the Oscars were. And I'm not talking, I understand my 8-year-old. I'm talking about my 13-year-old who is a 7th grader. I got to just say this to the Academy. You got to do a better job marketing to young people. This is the biggest award. This celebrates your industry, gets the word out about big movies. You got to get more kids interested. I don't know how you do it, but get the word out. I don't know about you guys. That was a family thing for me. I used to watch the Oscars with my whole family from the time I was real little. I do it with my kids. Get the word out, because 13-year-olds don't even know what you are. You should at least know what you are. So put the word out. That's my teen corner. Angelo, what do you got for us this week?
All right. For the past week, ladies and gentlemen, to the shock of many, especially Rhea, I have been in the role of a private dick. All right. I have been
private about it with you.
Listen to me. I knew you would say that, Rhea. When I was at St. Thomas, I read a book, and the book is called Bad Show: The Quiz, the Cough, and the Millionaire Major. It's about, in 2001, the British version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. A guy scammed 1 million francs, 1.2 million, out by planting one person, possibly two, in the audience who would cough when he said the right answer.
No way.
I read the book, and the book said that he was innocent, and it built a very strong case. And near the end of the book, it said, you can watch the documentary yourself. It was produced. It may be the most watched documentary in British television history. It was broadcast 6 years after the scandal. The man never got the million francs. All right. His name is Major Charles Ingram. And it shows you each question and how the corpse was sequenced and what went on.
Wow.
And it was absolutely spellbinding. It's like 90 minutes. The actual ITV documentary is called Major Fraud, and you can get it on. And I am here now, having spent the time to read the book and watch this. I still don't know, because the one about it that you can't really answer is the guy that was the expert who was planted in the audience was part of the next group that was coming onto the show as a contestant.
Oh.
And if he was that brilliant to help this army major make it all the way to 1 million francs, why did he get eliminated after 1,000? He was an awful contestant.
Wow.
And the whole argument is there were 192 coughs during the time that show's
Jesus.
Which, frankly, I think, Rhea, you lived there. Apparently, they have a lot of problems with respiratory illnesses and
and you're not sure, and there were 192 coughs. I mean, come on.
No, I'm sure there were 192 coughs. Only 19 mattered. They were the ones that were signaling what he should go for. And he was supposed to have this. It's a fascinating thing. If you want to see a great documentary, go on YouTube and look up Major Fraud, and you be the judge of whether or not the guy cheated. The book says he didn't. The documentary says he did. And I am on the fence. I still don't know for sure. But I'll say this, it was unbelievably great TV. When you got a guy going for the $1 million, you saw this in America show. It's spellbinding. And this guy was so off the wall, changing his answers. And they should give him the $1 million francs, because it was the best TV I have ever seen on a quiz show in my life. And I've watched a lot of quiz shows. So check it out. I think you'll enjoy it. I am still not sure. I think I'm going to watch it again.
I'm just kind of excited to go back to that time in the early 2000s when Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and all of the copies of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. That was a huge craze. Remember, people were dressing like Regis?
Yeah.
The monochromatic tie and...
Help me with this, because that was still a good show. Meredith Vera ended up being the host toward the end, right?
Right.
That show was not a better quiz show than Wheel of Fortune? Seriously?
Yeah.
Come on. Can we evaluate these a little better and get rid of that stupid Wheel of Fortune and slide in Millionaire?
And you know what? I think you're seeing the difference between a half-hour syndicated show and an hour network show from production value to everything down. Because I'll tell you what, I never cared much for the afternoon version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. You need to get a big star. Get John Mulaney. He can do anything. Get Ryan Gosling to host. And bring it back. I mean, why wouldn't you? I mean, at least do a special for it. All right, Angelo,
Absolutely.
what do we do
All
this
right,
week?
here's
What do
the
we got?
thing. Mostly we have been just talking about the Oscars. That is now available. You can watch it in its entirety on Hulu, and I think you'll enjoy a lot of it. It's the best Oscars in many
Yep.
years. We never got to Saturday Night Live, but if you would like to see what Scarlett Johansson did politically,
Brilliant.
it was brilliant, and that's available on Peacock. Hope Street is on Prime. Rhea Hughes says it's great. It sounds really good. And I am telling you to check out Major Fraud on YouTube. It's a great documentary on whether or not a guy cheated in front of the world, and it is fascinating.
Very good stuff, guys. I want to say a special thank you to Jared Clapper, who produces for us. Go check out all his work on our socials. If you like us, please leave a review. Please let a friend know. We're growing every day, and that's because of you guys. Always appreciate you listening. And we'll be back next week with more great TV stuff. Thanks, guys.